program ay susulong na naman. Maririnig kami sa bagong time slot na alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Sa prime time slot na ito, higit na maraming listeners at viewers ang aabuti ng aming iba't ibang segments tulad ng Gospel Verse a Day, balita sa special sectors tulad ng OFW, senior citizens, Chinoy community at iba pang makabuluhang sektor. Makakasama ang veteran journalist na si Loli Acosta. Mabuhay! Sulong na Bayan!
Right, a blessed afternoon to everyone. Let's go and have this very special Super Tuesday because we have a very special guest. And of course, a Super Tuesday, our super co-anchor, no less than the former administrator of Overseas Workers Welfare Administrator, no less than Attorney Bibong Soriano for our maiden episode.
Yes, good afternoon to all of you. Sulong na Bayan, and it's Super Tuesday, and we have a super guest.
Okay, he is a distinguished diplomat with a diverse career. After 5 years of service in the Israeli Navy, he earned a psychology degree from the University of Haifa and an MBA from the University of Derby. Joining the Foreign Service in 1994, Ambassador Fluss has represented Israel in various roles at the Israeli Embassy in Manila, that's the Philippines, The Hague, that's Netherlands, and Pretoria, that's South Africa, as well as at the Permanent Mission of Israel to the United Nations in New York. From 2016 and 2018, as part of a special operation, he represented Israel in Bahrain. And in Israel, he served as Director for Policy Planning and External Relations, and later on as Deputy Head of Mashav, that's Israel Agency for International Development Cooperation in 2009 to 2016. From 2018 to 2021, he was the Deputy Head of the Economic Division at Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In October 2021, Ambassador Fluss assumed the role of the Israeli ambassador to the Philippines. Outside his diplomatic duties, he enjoys running. I heard that earlier with our chairman, D. Edgar Cabangon. You run all the time, and you hike, and you dive. You like that. Married to Gila, he is a proud father of 4. So let's welcome
Ladies and gentlemen, the Ambassador of the State of Israel, His Excellency Ilan Floss.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me with you today.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's
So
dive
first
in.
question for our special guest. Kumusta mga Pilipino po sa Israel?
Tagalog.
The Filipinos in Israel are doing well. Right? This was a question about the Filipinos in Israel, right? I understood the Tagalog. We have about a community of about 28,000.
Yes.
Most of them OFWs, some in the caregivers, some hotel workers, and they are really doing well, happy in Israel. We are treating them very well, and they feel part of us.
Good.
And of course, we have highly skilled, laborers there. What kind of jobs do they have?
So most of the Filipinos in Israel are caregivers, mostly with elderly people and disabled people. And I can tell you that my father-in-law, the father of my wife, he is a Holocaust survivor. He is 93 years old.
Wow.
And he has a Filipina caregiver. Her name is Edna. And she's, first of all, part of the family. And secondly, she only with her being there, we can continue with our lives because he cannot be alone. So we feel very confident that he's in good hands. And whenever there is something, she always calls us or Gila's sister. And she's only one story of so many Filipinos and Filipinas in Israel that are really living with our elderly, taking really good care of them. They're living with them in their homes, so they're really fully integrated into the Israeli families, and they feel very much at home. And we make sure that they're also well protected, and that they're also, all the salaries, all the social benefits, everything is very much organized and supervised, that there is no exploitation, and that they are treated well.
Okay. Yeah, Your Excellency, the State of Israel is very known as an agricultural expert, technology, and I believe there is a good news to the Filipinos that you're bringing in. You're transferring the agricultural technology to the Philippines by holding a series of events this coming July.
July 11.
That's correct. Actually, when I met President Marcos
Yes.
after elections, a couple of times, and last year when the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Israel visited the Philippines, also he met President Marcos, and the President asked me, Ambassador Ilan, please bring the Israeli agro-technologies to the Philippines, because top of my agenda is the agricultural productivity and food security for the Philippines. And he has been to Israel many years ago, and he is aware of the Israeli leadership in agricultural technologies. Israel is known as a country of innovation. We call it, it's the startup nation. And we are now hosting a delegation in the Philippines of Israeli companies who are bringing with them different technologies in different areas in agriculture. It's actually fascinating to listen to them, to what they are doing. Because I do think that if we bring the Israeli approach and the Israeli technology, understanding the challenges in the Philippines, we can really create together amazing projects and change things around. Of course, the challenges in agriculture are big. I mean, I cannot pretend, you have a secretary, an entire department, and of course a lot of private sector. But I do believe that Israel has a lot to offer, because we are facing great challenges in Israel. Not enough water, not enough soil, a small country, mostly desert. And we produce, even in a desert, the best bell peppers, the best melons, actually coming from the desert. Even dairy farming in the desert. So dairy. Israel is number one. Actually, dairy per cow, Israel is number one in the world. So we have a lot to work with our partners in the Philippines.
Yeah, you mentioned, Mr. Ambassador, agricultural workers is one of the jobs available for Filipinos in Israel. So tell us about agriculture internship offered to us, the Philippines.
Yes. We actually, one of the areas that we are trying to assist, to move from subsistence farming to commercial farming, or what we call, and to smart agriculture. First of all, you have to change your mindset.
Renew your minds.
Exactly. And what we're doing is we invite every year 550 Filipinos for an internship program in Israel for 11 months. 5 days a week, they work with Israeli farmers, practice in their own hands how we do our farming, using the technologies, everything. And 1 day a week, they study academic studies. After completion of 11 months, they also prepare usually a business proposal. This program is implemented with TESDA, so it's vocational training. We are now also coordinating with DILG, which has a lot of projects on the local level, with local government, and also with Department of Agriculture. We are now in the process of recruitment of the next batch for next year. And I believe that this is a very important program that can really make a difference. Except for that, we also invite to Israel professionals for short-term training programs of a few weeks. These are more highly skilled professionals and focused training programs. This month, we're going to invite 5 experts from the Philippines to Israel for specific training. So we're trying to find a lot of opportunities to assist in this major challenge.
And you intend to transfer this agricultural technology by doing a roadshow in the Philippines. Can you expound on this roadshow?
Yes, exactly. The idea of the roadshow is having more than 10 Israeli companies that are here, from censoring the soil, to know what are the needs of the roots, okay?
It's arable or not.
And chemicals that are done in a more modern and sustainable way, less environmentally damaging. If it is on modern valves, if it is on projects of building agricultural projects, including investing here, if it is some that are using aerial photos in order to identify challenges in the fields. So different technologies represented here by Israeli companies that are now here, and we're doing for them introductions from one side to the government, Department of Agriculture, and the different agencies, and on the other hand, a series of meetings with private sector in order to identify either potential partnerships and collaborations, or simply, selling the know-how or selling the technologies. Depends on what will come out of those meetings. And this is actually one of the major initiatives of the embassy, because I do believe a lot in private sector. If we want to have long-term change, we need to bring sustainable change. We need to bring the private sector.
Okay. And you're bringing in 11 agricultural technology companies?
Yes.
And this is variety about
Different-
how it varies.
Different technologies, including, as I mentioned before, I mean, they're actually the first company to do drip irrigation.
Drip irrigation.
Drip irrigation. Drip
What's that?
irrigation, drip irrigation, how we, instead of flood irrigation where you have the rice fields, you have drip.
Yeah.
Drip is much more precise. And through the drip irrigation, you can do also fertigation. So all the fertilizers that come through the fluid. So it's very accurate, less damaging to the environment. So the oldest company that invented drip irrigation is here now. So this is another example of a company which is now here. A company that does poultry.
Right.
Poultry,
Livestock.
chicken, and mostly on the chicken side, and some aspects of other livestock, which is very important here for the feeding of the people.
Exactly.
Instead of needing to import.
Right.
Locally
We
produced.
produce it here, like the duck and other the
Exactly.
fishery. There's mention here of Chef Aviation.
Yes.
What is supposed to mean? Are
So
you
Ref-
also they're also participating in this?
Yes, that's what I said before in the aviation, because you can get a lot of indicators and understand what's happening on the field and how is the crop doing
Right.
by using imaging,
Okay.
either from drones or from planes, which go a bit higher, or from using satellite technology. So they are proposing technologies that will help identify a need for irrigation if the plant is not doing well. Including one of the major challenges in banana these days is the fusarium, the Panama disease. And the Reshef Aviation has even the possibility of early detection of the Panama disease in trees, which means if you go to check the tree which is being identified as a suspected to have this disease, and you can remove the tree from the field, and then other trees will not be affected by this disease, because this disease spreads and you have
like
to
fire.
destroy like fire. It's
Purge
terrible,
everything.
terrible.
It's terrible.
Yes. So they give precise indication where there might be Panama disease. The farmers know to go there,
Target
to
it.
check, target it, and then it's very precise. You remove the tree, and then the rest of the plantation can continue to produce.
grow.
So,
Okay, Loli, Mr. Ambassador, I'm just curious about your intention to transfer this high-tech about agriculture. Can you maybe tell us about the historical relationship between our country and your country?
oh, that's something I love to talk about.
Right.
Yes, yes.
We have
Because our two countries...
So that our listeners and audience will be educated on how
Let's educate.
close, valuable the relationship of the state of Israel and the state of the Philippines.
It goes actually even before the establishment of the State of Israel.
Did it?
Yes.
In 1946?
Before, the Israel was established 1948.
Okay.
In 1938 and 1939, President Kazan was then the president.
Yes.
Of course, the Americans were here. The Jews were trying to escape the Nazis from Europe.
That's right.
Nazis
Very
took over in 1933.
That was the start of
The Holocaust started later, okay, 1942. But persecution has started earlier.
Right.
The Jews were trying to escape, and they were refugees. Most countries closed the doors and did not allow the Jewish refugees from Germany, from Austria, to enter into those countries. And even some ships
Right.
with Jewish refugees
Declined.
were declined and
Right.
sent them back to Europe to death.
See,
Now, the Philippines,
Us,
exactly, during time,
Philippines.
exactly,
Yeah.
we
were
during the time of
there.
President Quezon, you welcomed 1,300 Jews into the Philippines, saving their lives from the Nazis, which is something not many countries did it. The original plan was to have actually 10,000, but it didn't happen. It was 1,300, 1,300. And I'm still meeting today, sometimes, descendants of those refugees. Yeah, some of them stayed here, married to Filipinos.
Right.
And then I meet the either grandchildren or great-grandchildren, and it's so amazing to see that they really fully integrated into the Philippines. Some, of course, have left. The second major, I think, important milestone in the relations is in 1947. 1947, the Philippines have voted in a crucial vote in the United Nations for the establishment of the Jewish state of Israel as homeland for the Jews. And the Philippines was the only country in Asia which supported this vote. So it was so important.
Because we were already a member of the United Nations,
Yes,
right?
exactly. You already remember, 1947. So, and for that reason, walang visa
Wala.
for Filipinos to travel to Israel. Walang visa.
Visa-free
Visa-free.
that time.
So,
Is that
Both
reciprocal, no?
Israel.
it's reciprocal. Yes,
Started.
yes. Also, Israelis can visit the Philippines, no need for visa. The important thing, and
That's
I know
wonderful,
Filipinos, sometimes it's a hassle with getting the visa.
Yeah.
Israel, you don't need the
burden.
visa anymore. You
Right.
just get on the plane, and that's it.
Yeah. For the
So,
country.
and we know that Israel is in the bucket list of
Every Filipino.
right? The pilgrimage, the Holy Land.
Holy Land. And in addition, Mr. Ambassador, Attorney Bibong, you put up a monument
Yes.
in
Exactly.
Israel. I was there. I had a picture taken because that's so historical.
There is a monument in a city called Rishon LeZion, exactly, the Quezon Monument. And in Quezon City here, we have the Friendship Monument
Also here.
which exactly, and you can see the two historical things and the good relations. And we go and visit there quite often.
So that's a close relationship and
Yeah.
ties. You know,
Exactly.
it's beyond compare because you're like a Filipino. At the same time, we're like Israel.
Well, I consider myself I'm a Balikbayan
Balikbayan diplomat.
I'm a Balikbayan diplomat
Oh,
because I
wow.
served here in the 90s, from 95 to 98.
Yeah, you were already part of the embassy here.
My first diplomatic posting
Overseas
was here in the
Philippines?
Philippines,
Oh, wow,
95 to
fascinating.
98. So I'm a Balikbayan. My second son was born in the Philippines.
Now this time, the ambassador, right?
And he came back again as ambassador. When I saw the options, where can I go as ambassador? And I saw the list.
Philippines.
And I said, okay, the Philippines is open. I'm going to apply for the Philippines because since the 90s until today, the relations are much closer. If it is on defense technologies, if it is on agriculture technologies, on water, the embassy is bigger. We have more diplomats because of and realizing the opportunities in the collaboration in technologies. We also have now an economic office with a trade attaché and the whole team there. We have a team to support all our collaborations with the defense. So embassies bigger, relations are more important, wider, broader, and I wanted to come back in order to take part in this expansion of the relations.
In fact, you have an economic mission here right now,
Yes,
right?
yes. Yeah. So we have economic mission permanently here, and we have now an economic delegation. Where the economic mission has organized for them the entire visit here. Yes.
In fact, as a matter of fact, Attorney Bibong, on July 11, I think there's going to be an agri-tech.
9 and 11.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Innovation Forum.
a few days. It's a few days of activities, which will
What are we expecting?
including business forum, including meetings with the Department of Agriculture, meeting with the PSAC, the Private Sector Advisory Council to the President, and going to visit also different places outside of Metro Manila. So they are busy 3 days, and I can tell you after that, from what I've seen in the first day of the visit, there is a lot a lot of interest and a lot to explore together because there are so many opportunities. I was speaking to one Israeli agronomist before, and I can talk about some of the projects that we're doing here. But, you know, the Philippines, you're blessed. This country is a blessed country for agriculture. The pace that the trees, when you plant a seedling here of a tree, the pace it grows here, it just shoots up like, I don't know. And in
That's
Israel,
fast.
because of
We're
the
rich of natural
climate,
resources.
Our land, yeah.
your land, your soil,
Arable
your
soil.
water, your everything, the climate, the humidity. So it's amazing for the agriculture. You have a very, very good climate for agriculture. In Israel, it's tough. We have to irrigate, we have to do this, we have to do that. So we're able to do it. But here, you're
It's
blessed.
there.
It's there. So you have opportunities, and what we have to do is really work together, really to take those opportunities and make them a reality.
And this is really a good collaboration. You have the technology, we have the natural resources.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's tailored solutions that meet your specific needs.
Exactly. So the nice thing about working with Israelis, if I may, I would say challenges have to be looked at as opportunities. Having the
Like that.
climate in Israel is so difficult,
Right.
and it forced us to innovate. And we took it as an opportunity. So today we're a global hub of innovation because we had to innovate. So now we're doing so much innovation. Now let's take this innovation. Let's also take the flexible approach and work of Israelis. We are not working only like a guidebook and you have to go follow the guide and this is what you do. You need to
Evolve.
understand. You have to go to the field. You have to
Immerse,
understand
maybe.
exactly, immerse the local conditions, the culture, the challenges, and then adapt those technologies to the challenges here and to the opportunities here, and then you can work together in really creating a much more productive agriculture sector.
All right, our afternoon is heating up, and our topic on envoys and entrepreneurs in Sulong na Bayan with our maiden episode guest, no less than His Excellency Ambassador of Island Floss, will continue after this station break. So don't go away. The Philippine Standard Time is 5:25 in the afternoon.
Oras, hatid sa inyo ng PAGCOR. Si Miss Loli Acosta. Sulong na Bayan! Sa DWIZ 882. Ang bahaging ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng PCSO. Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong. Panatilihing masaya ang paglilibang. Magtakda na oras at limitahan ang gastos sa paglalaro. Huwag magsugal kung nalulungkot. Huwag hayaang makasira ng buhay at pamilya. Para sa impormasyon ukol sa responsible gaming, tumawag lamang sa hotline number 02-8404-0171 o bisitahin ang www.casinofilipino.ph. Isang mensahe mula sa PAGCOR. Gambling is for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
Fuji Denso believes that appliances are long-term investments, so it is very important to choose wisely. And what could be a wiser choice than using reliable, durable, and energy-saving appliances from Fuji Denso? Just like families and companies trusting Fuji Denso, you will see the difference when you upgrade your usual appliances to Fuji Denso HD inverter appliances. Fuji Denso, quality above all. Upgrade your home. Upgrade your business with Fuji Denso, quality above all.
Mahilig ka ba sa sports betting habang nanonood ng laro? Narito ang Arena Plus. Manalo at manood ng live kahit saan. May libreng 50 pesos bonus pa sa unang pag-register. Arena Plus, ang official sportsbook partner ng FIBA World Cup 2023. Kasama pa ang astig sa court na si Jordan Clarkson as official endorser ng Arena Plus.
Arena Plus, Acosta Sports.
Sa Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Keep it fun. Game responsibly. Sa Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Download Arena Plus app now in App Store. You can watch it also on arenaplus.ph. Sa Arena Plus, astig sa sports.
Fuji Denso Home and Commercial Appliances. Upgrade your usual appliances to Fuji Denso HD Inverter Appliances. Upgrade your home. Upgrade your business with Fuji Denso. Quality above all.
Loves na love sa linamnam.
Maximum perfect. Direk, iyan mo na si ate. Kasi sa ₱1 lang, makakalaro ka na sa Bingo Plus.
May mga premyong pwede mapanalunan. Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya.
Malay mo, mapanulunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live streaming bingo sa Pinas. Pag panalo sa bingo,
Plus sa saya!
Technogas Technique transforms your kitchen with safe and efficient appliances. With over 70 years of expertise, Technogas Technique embodies Italian kitchen excellence. Simplify your cooking with Technogas Technique, your cooking partner. That's the Technogas Technique.
Kayang-kaya mo ang kahit na ano kung ikaw mismo ang gagawa nito. Let's learn new things sa DIY Do It Yourself.
May mga pagkakataon na sinusubukan nating mag-install ng iba't ibang application sa ating phone, lalo na kung sa tingin natin ito'y ating magagamit. Ngunit kung minsan, hindi na natin pinapansin ang rating o reviews ng app at basta na lang natin itong dina-download. Kaya para malaman kung safe ba para sa iyong phone ang application, gawin mo lamang ito. Una, buksan ang Google Play Store. Pindutin mo ang 3-dot menu at piliin ng Play Protect. Ikalawa, pindutin mo ang Scan. Ito'y para malaman kung merong virus ang in-install mong application. At ikatlo, para masigurong safe ang i-install mo na app sa iyong phone, pindutin mo muli ang settings at siguraduhin naka-turn on ang Scan Apps with Play Protect at Improve Harmful App Detection. Gets mo ba? Sige nga, do it yourself!
Viral na pinag-uusapan, trending na mga issues, on air and online, malalaman sa DWIZ News Feed.
Magandang hapon Pilipinas, narito na ang mga balita. Isang mangingisdang Pinoy nawawala matapos banggain ng isang Chinese commercial vessel ang sinasakayang bangka. Detalye ng balita nga nihahatid ni Patrol 19, Celia Ortega Bueno.
Nawawala ang isang mangingisdang Pinoy matapos banggain ng isang Chinese commercial vessel ang sinasakyan nilang bangkang pangisda sa karagatan ng Zambales noong July 7. Ito ang sinabi ni Senator Francis Tolentino. Alinsunod sa report ng Philippine Coast Guard kay Tolentino, binangga ng Chinese commercial vessel na Yangfu ang maliit na bangkang pangisda na lulan ang dalawang Pinoy noong July 7 bandang 12:30 ng tanghali. Kinilala na nawawalang mangisda na si Jose Mondeñedo, habang ang kasama naman itong si Robert Mondeñedo ay nakaligtas. Sa ngayon, pinag-aaralan na ng ating mga otoridad ang paghahain ng kaukulang kaso. May kipag-ugnayan rin ang Pilipinas sa International Maritime Organization o IMO para matukoy kung saan nakarehistro ang Yangfu vessel. Maaari rin anyang makipag-ugnayan ang ating pamahalaan sa Chinese Embassy. Sa ngayon, binigyan din ni Tolentino na ang pinakamahalaga muna mangyari ay mahanap ang nawawalang mangingisda. Ito sa Patrol 19, Celia Ortega Bueno para sa impilang metodong lakas sa DWIZ. Nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
DWIZ News Feed.
Samantala sa iba pang balita, posible pang maulit ang kaso ni suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo kaugnay sa pamimeke ng dokumento partikular sa birth certificate. Ito ang binigyang diin ni Senate President Francis Chis Escudero, sabay giit na kailangan ng maayos ang aniyay kapalpakan sa Philippine Statistics Authority, lalo na't isang birth certificate sa mga requirement upang makakuha ng mahalagang dokumento tulad ng passport. Naniniwala si SP Escudero na mayroong nagaganap na korupsyon sa PSA, kaya't nakalusot ang mga papeles ng kontrobersyal na alkalde.
DWIZ News Feed.
At yan ang mga balita sa oras na ito. Para sa karagdagang impormasyon at mas marami pang mga balita, bisitahin kami sa aming website www.dwiz882am.com, At sundan ang aming X account at Facebook page, DWIZ. Ako po si Laika Cuevas.
Huwag pahuhuli, huwag papayag na wala kang alam kapag viral na, kapag trending na. Alam agad sa DWIZ News Feed.
Ang balitang ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best. Ang bahaging ito ay hatid sa inyo ng PCSO. Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong. Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Right, we are back with our special guest, no less than His Excellency Israeli Ambassador Ilan Flas and Attorney Wilhelm Soriano in our maiden episode of Envoys and Entrepreneurs of Sulong na Bayan.
So let's bring back His Excellency Ambassador Ilan Flas.
Good to be back here again.
Okay.
Okay, what are the initiatives or programs that are being introduced by Israel to the Philippines right now?
So, for an example, we established a smart agriculture center in Tarlac, where we introduced really...
In Tarlac.
In
Yeah.
Tarlac, in the Agricultural University of Tarlac,
Filipino.
where we have drip irrigation systems, fertigation, remote control, greenhouses. It's really quite amazing to go to visit and to see vegetables. I went for the festival of the harvesting of the vegetables, and you see vegetables like we love in Israel. So
Healthy.
it was really fantastic. And that's on the agricultural side. We have also some projects in other areas. For example, on the innovation, I had a partnership recently with an organization of investors here in the Philippines, Maine.
Right.
And I introduced in my residence to Israeli startups. And Israeli startups did pitching to the Philippine investors on their innovation because they are looking for funding. And they presented the startups, presented the technology, presented opportunities. And then, of course, the investors asked tough questions about...
Like what?
You
The
know,
loans, maybe.
not the loans,
Not just
but
the
to
loan.
understand the technology and what do you use the technology for.
Right.
Economically, what will be the return of this investment? A lot of
ROI.
very ROI, a lot of very good questions, but I know that they were puzzled with
Why?
the level of innovation coming out of Israel. And there is a good reason why Israel is known as a global hub of innovation. We have in Israel more than 250 multinational companies in Israel because of innovation coming out of Israel. And so many unicorns. And I mean, Israel is a country of 9.6 million people. And we have more than 9,000 startups. So we have a lot to offer. So that was another initiative. We have initiatives here in the education. We established last year in the school. We call it the Jerusalem Learning Center. A learning center where we put a library with reading books.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Beautiful place for the children where they can sit in between the classes and enjoy reading educational books, not studying, but sitting there with the librarian. And I went there together with one of the councils of Taguig, and we sat together with the kids, reading to them stories, actually from the Bible this time, and talking about it. So all kinds of initiatives that we are trying to promote in the Philippines, sharing and working together in order really to create, I call it to create bridges of human bridges and bridges of innovation and technology between Israel and the Philippines. This is my goal here as the ambassador of Israel.
Yeah, you mentioned the scriptures very quickly. Can we ask this kind of, that's how they say it, you don't give them fish, but you teach them how to fish. Is that one of your...
Yes, exactly. Well, this is what we do. We invite to Israel every year quite a few Filipinos for not only the internship program, but for different trainings in education, in healthcare, in water, in agriculture, in emergency preparedness, and in gender empowerment. Yesterday, gender empowerment. Yesterday, I was with Caritas, and we gave what we call a mini grant of 580,000 pesos to an alumni of a gender program in Israel, and she's going to she's part of Caritas, and they're going to implement a program of training Filipino women to become entrepreneurs, to produce their own produce, and then, of course, to sell it in the market. Basically, make an income.
Right.
And that's exactly gender equality and gender opportunities. So these are, as you can see, we have a lot of different initiatives that we're doing. By the way, another program we're doing with DWIZ is...
That's Department of Education.
Department of Education, of course, is on Holocaust. We talked about President Quezon, how he allowed Jews to escape and the Nazis get safe haven here. So we are doing every year a memorial service for the Holocaust on the International Holocaust Day together with the Secretary of DWIZ. And this year we started doing a similar kind of ceremony in different provinces around the Philippines for people to remember, first of all, the Holocaust, and secondly, of course, through the Holocaust, to talk about President Quezon and the values that he can teach us about, you know, opening your doors to people in need. This is something
the
very
less
unique.
fortunate, the less privileged.
Refugees who are escaping from...
We are all brothers.
Exactly. So that's something we're also promoting. So very wide, very broad spectrum of initiatives.
And the networking, that's fascinating, because you'll have to collaborate with the Filipino entrepreneurs.
So for me, as ambassador of Israel, the important thing for me is really reaching out to Filipino people. So I interact with businessmen and private sector. I interact with educators. I go out to the universities. I mentioned about DWIZ and the schools, and I talk about women and entrepreneurship. Of course, government workers and different departments. I didn't mention cyber and cybersecurity, which is a major issue also.
Yes.
So when I traveled out of Metro Manila, I make it a point not to meet only the leadership. I always meet governors, mayors, of course, the local politicians, but it's important for me to meet the people, to meet Filipinos, to understand, to interact, to understand the daily life and daily challenges of the regular Filipino person, because this is, for me as a foreigner, I need to learn to understand the Philippines only by understanding the people.
So what did you really find out? What behavior we have?
I'll give you one. Well,
okay.
I mean,
your
the Filipinos, first of all, are the most amazing people on earth.
Thank you.
Always kind, smiling, warm, hospitality. You know, it's always food on the table, right? I mean, it's always food.
And hospitality.
But I'll tell you, what can I say?
Right.
It's just really, it's the best place to be. We had a yaya with us in the 90s.
Yes, in the 90s.
I was here, 95 to 98. My second son was born here. Obviously, we had a yaya. And we kept in touch. Filipina, of course.
And how long did she stay with you?
She even continued with us when we moved to The Hague, to the Netherlands. She came with us.
She moved with you.
She moved with us.
It means you trusted her so much.
Oh, absolutely. We had our third son was born in the Netherlands, and she took care of him. And after that, she actually went to work with my grandmother, because, Jews, we are...
Your grandmother.
My grandmother lived in London, and we lived in Israel.
Okay.
So she was alone. She was becoming old, and she went to live and to take care of my grandmother. And anyway, after that, she kept living. She stayed living in London, but she is originally from Bacolod. And I went to visit Bacolod recently. And
did you see her folks somehow?
And yes, exactly.
You were able to visit the family.
So I met. So she's in London, but I went and I met her brother.
Endorsed you.
Yeah, and
family of the yaya
with his wife.
Okay.
And they told us how They
Interesting.
appreciated that we employed
care.
her and we gave her a very decent salary, and she was able to support the family and their, medical insurance, for them to, and the education. So her employment with us and then later on with my grandmother really helped. As you know how it
It
works.
was a golden opportunity,
For the
not
family.
only for her, but for
But the
whole
entire
family.
family.
And her brother now is also became now a local politician at the level of the
Really
family.
now? That's
So
interesting.
it's fantastic. It's really
You guys help them a lot.
so. But for me, I don't see it as help. I see it as creating bonds between
Yeah,
human
ties.
beings, between
Yeah.
people, and that was and they came specially and they came to visit us. And again, Filipinos, they bring with us they bring with them some Filipino
Yeah, the
food to give us.
That's our
That's our-
culture.
Yeah. So-
We bring our produce.
and I gave them something from the Holy Land because we didn't talk about tourism, but the Holy Land. I gave them something from the Holy Land.
Our native delicacies, native food, right?
Yeah, the local
Exactly.
foods.
The dried mango.
Oh,
The
yeah.
dried mango.
That's
I
our
love-
bestseller.
I mean, when I go home, when I visit my family,
You
I
bring.
buy dried mango.
Yeah.
This is what I give, and people love the dried mango from
We
the
now
Philippines.
call that
The
mango diplomacy.
Mango diplomacy, like the durian exactly. Mango diplomacy. No, it's the best. It's the best.
Right. And you mentioned about tourism. So
Yes,
what's your,
yes. So
vision for
I
tourism?
promote a lot. I'm very, very much involved in the tourism sector because, as we said before, Israel, the Holy Land, is in the bucket list.
Always.
But what I tell now the travel operators, I told them you have to promote pilgrimage.
Yeah,
But today you
that's
have to
correct.
promote pilgrimage plus,
Plus.
meaning go to pilgrimage, but go and see Israel today, because Israel today has so much to offer. If it is food. And food in Israel is excellent. And wine. Israel
Falafel.
is the wine produced in Israel is one of the best wines, and it gains international recognition. And you can do in Israel one day of skiing in the north, in the mountains, in the snow.
Okay.
The following day, you can go trekking in the desert in the south. So, and of course, the culture and the art and the history. So, pilgrimage, absolutely very important. But I think that today, in modern times, we have to add to it more elements to the pilgrimage. So I say now,
Be
go to
creative.
Israel, pilgrimage plus.
Plus.
Be creative, be open.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
That's-
Plus,
In
that
fact,
means
most of our Catholic priests comes to
Israel.
they lead the pilgrimage.
So many groups. Go to Israel. I meet people, and they tell me, Ambassador, I was last year in Israel. I'm going with my parents or with my children next
family.
year. Everybody is sort of constantly planning the trip or just came back from the trip. And for me, I would say, as ambassador of the State of Israel, I would say, go to Israel, do pilgrimage, do the plus, enjoy Israel. We have also amazing beaches, different than the islands here, but it's a small country. You can manage to see quite a lot, and go and see the innovation. Israelis are very much like Filipinos, warm, hospitality. We like food. We like talking to new people.
Right. Innovation.
And
That's your word.
exactly, open-minded. So this is what I urge or call anybody I meet in the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah, trying.
This is really getting to be so interesting, but people are asking how much cost will we spend going to Israel. Before you answer that, we have to pause for another break. Philippine Standard Time is 5:45 in the afternoon.
Oras hatid sa inyo ng Pagcor.
Oras hatid sa inyo ng
Bingo Plus. Download Bingo Plus app now at Google Play or Apple App Store for a chance to win more than 75 million pesos jackpot prize. Visit Bingo Plus official website at bingoplus.com to learn more. With Bingo Plus, bingo sa saya plus sa panalo. Gaming for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882. Panatilihing masaya ang paglilibang. Magtakda na oras at limitahan ang gastos sa paglalaro. Huwag magsugal kung nalulungkot. Huwag hayaang makasira ng buhay at pamilya. Para sa impormasyon ukol sa responsible gaming, tumawag lamang sa hotline number 02-8404-0171 o bisitahin ang www.casinofilipino.ph. Isang mensahe mula sa Pagcor. Gambling is for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
Nais nating sagutin ang mga pahayag ni Atty. Nicole Rose Margaret Hamilla na pinapasa sa PAGCOR ang CC kung bakit may mga kasong kriminal na sinampa ang Department of Interior and Local Government laban sa kanyang kliyenteng si Mayor Alice Guo ng Bamban, Tarlac. Malinaw ang mga patakaran ng PAGCOR. Kapag lumabag sa batas ang mga binigyan namin ng lisensya, ito man ay provisional license o regular license, pinapatawan agad sila ng matinding parusa at multa. At kung malubha ang kasalanan ay kinakansela agad ang lisensya. Walang kinalaman ng PAGCOR sa pagbibigay ng mga lokal na business permit at lisensya. Hindi rin namin responsibilidad ang inspeksyon ng mga gusaling wala sa alalim ng aming poder. Ang pag-i-issue ng ang gaming license ay batay sa aming sariling panuntunan at sa mga dokumentong sinusumite ng mga aplikante. Sa kaso ng sinalakay na compound dyan sa Bamban noong March 13 ngayong taon, isa sa mga kumpanyang nasa loob ng compound ay ang Zone U1 Technologies Inc. na noon ay may hawak na provisional license mula sa PAGCOR na pinagkaloob noong October 19, 2023. Ang nakarehistrong address ng Zone U1 ay nasa ikalawa, ikatlo at ikaapat na palapag ng A1 building sa loob ng compound ng Baofu Land Development Inc. May mga tauhan doon ang PAGCOR mula sa Compliance, Monitoring and Enforcement Department upang bantayan ang kanilang operasyon. Bukod sa nasabing address, walang karapatan ang PAGCOR na puntahan ng ibang mga gusali sa loob ng nasabing compound na mahigit 8 ektarya ang lawak, kung saan ang ibang mga gusali ay malalayo at hindi basta-basta mapapasok. Walang legal na batayan ang mga tauhan ng PAGCOR upang pasukin at alamin ang nangyayari sa mga nasabing pribadong lugar dahil labas ito sa aming saklaw. Bukod sa pagmamatsyag at pagpapatupad ng aming mga lituntunin, ang tanging papel lamang ng PAGCOR sa sinalakay na compound ay ang pagbibigay ng pansamantalang lisensya sa Zone U1 Technologies na agad naman binawi matapos ang raid noong March 13. So bilang paglilinaw, sa panahon lamang ng kasalukuyang pamunuan ng PAGCOR, natuklasan at naisiwalat ang mga totoong anomalyang sangkot ang mga Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o yung tinatawag na POGO. Ulitin natin, sa panahon lamang ng kasalukuyang administrasyon ng PAGCOR, nagkaroon ng hindi kukulangin sa 10 pagsasalakay laban sa mga hinihinalang gawaing kriminal sa loob ng mga pogo, kaya nalantad ang mga anomalya katulad ng natuklasan sa Bamban, Tarlac.
Prepare delightful dishes every time with Technogas Technique appliances. Experience excellent cooking results with Technogas Technique's premium selection of cooking ranges, range hoods, built-in hobs, ovens, and kitchen appliances. Technogas Technique combines elegance, functionality, safety, and durability to enhance your skills and passion for cooking. Make Technogas Technique your cooking partner and fill your kitchen with appliances made to last. That's the Technogas Technique.
DWIZ! Ang buong Aliw Broadcasting Corporation Station DWIZ AM Nationwide DWIZ News FM Regional Stations Home Radio 97.9 at ng Aliw Channel 23 ay nagpapasalamat ng 1,000,000 beses dahil sa laki ng suporta mo sa amin. Really, 1,000,000 thanks to you. Kaya tatapatan din namin ng 1,000,000 thank you ang inyong pakikinig, panonood at pag-follow. Manalo ng 1,000,000 pesos. Aliw Broadcasting Corporation, 1,000,000 pasasalamat nationwide. Promo. Abangan. The Hits.
Nandito kami, ang barkada mong tunay aawit sa'yo. Huwag kang mag-isip ng ano pa man. Nakapagtataka, nakapagtataka.
Boy Garovillo, Jim Paredes, together with Haji Alejandro, Marco Siso, Ray Valera, Nonoy Zuniga, The Hit Society, July 12 and 13, 2024, 8 p.m. from NY Entourage Productions, Aliu Broadcasting Corporation, DWIZ News, 882 Home Radio, 97.9, and Aliu Channel 23. For tickets, ticketworld.com.ph.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Nagbabalik po ang Sulong na Bayan at andito pa rin kami ni Ma'am Loli and of course our special guest, His Excellency Aylan Flos.
Oh, I heard, have you been to Mount Pulag? Tell us your experience.
Tell us about your hiking or what?
This is one of the best times I had in the Philippines.
Wow.
Why?
Because I left early morning and started hiking, climbing Mount Pulag 2:30 at the morning a.m. in order to get...
It's still dark.
It's still dark, wet, it was mud, it was raining at night.
It's risky.
I wanted to get to the peak,
2:30,
which is almost 3,000 meters high, before sunrise. And we got there, of course, early enough because I love hiking, so it was not a problem. We got up to the top at probably about 5 o'clock in the morning, and 5:30, first light, and slowly. And then they talk always in the books, and I saw it in my own eyes, what you call the Sea of Clouds.
Wow.
That was one of the most majestic,
beautiful, marvelous
sceneries I've seen in my life. And I climbed in the Himalayas, but it was so beautiful. So
it's a great experience, right?
Absolutely. And you have nature. I mean, of course, I've been to the rice terraces, and I've Sagada in the mountains there. So much to see in the Philippines. We didn't talk about the diving and
Not
so
yet.
much diving here in Coral. I mean, just
So where do you go diving? Where do you go diving? Siargao or what?
sometimes I've been diving in Coron, in Anilao,
Batangas, right?
in Subic, lots of good, less good, but different places. And you have so many sites. I mean, the Philippines is a heaven. For diving.
Paradise, maybe.
Paradise. I mean, I'm sorry. Paradise because we always talk about the Red Sea, but
parting of the Red Sea, I don't like that.
Red Sea is known. No, Red Sea is known also for diving in the Red Sea. But coming here, wow, what can I say?
Entirely different.
Fantastic. Much I recommend.
All right, very briefly, Attorney Bibong, we want to know your defense, your mobile, your telecom
We're done
programs.
with economic agriculture technology. Now let's talk about defense, about telecommunications. Okay.
So Israel is, when I talk about innovations, I talk about technology, of course it touches many kinds of technologies. If it is on defense, and we have seen here fast patrol boats, Israel, unfortunately, we have a lot of experience in war. I mean, we are living in a very complicated region with a lot of enemies, and we had to deal with wars and to defend our
always
country.
win.
And thank God we were able to defend ourselves. But Israel has leading technologies in defense, and this is something that we have offered, and we're seeing some of the technologies implemented in the Philippines. But when also I talk about the telecom, and a lot of the telecom companies in the Philippines are using Israeli technologies. I mentioned earlier the cybersecurity, because telecom needs cybersecurity. Banks need cybersecurity, right? Government needs cybersecurity. Today, everybody which is online, you need cybersecurity.
Sure.
And Israel, 2 years ago, Israel got 40% of global investment in cybersecurity were in Israel. Number of unicorns in 1 year out of Israel, 2 years ago, 11 unicorns, so more than $1 billion. So Israel is also a source. Leading country, because we are also being attacked a lot. I mean, the Philippines are talking about the hacking and the cyber attacks in the Philippines.
The scam.
Israel is also being attacked a lot. So we are anticipating and we are ready. So
and you're
we have
prepared.
We have the systems in place in order to protect our not only our critical infrastructure, protect government, protect hospitals, protect data, and it's something that we have to do. So we are also sharing this here in the Philippines. By the way, even medical. Actually, the biggest number of startups we have in Israel. Israel is a country, I think we have more than 9,000 startups in Israel, in a country of 9.6 million people. So per capita, it's so high. Also in medical. And some of them are being introduced and are being used already here in some of the hospitals. Here, when we talk about digital health, it's also something which is coming out of Israel. And I have to say one more thing, because Philippines is one of the countries that you have here coffee, you have coconut, you have cacao. And I did introduce, and after we don't have cacao in Israel.
Not yet.
But
we cannot grow. But here there is cacao.
But you're helping us in the cacao technology.
Israeli
technology.
experts are working with a local entrepreneur. She has a cacao farm. And I went to visit after 1 year of implementing Israeli technologies. And you have the cacao trees that are still treated the traditional way. Next to them, the cacao trees that are using the Israeli technologies and Israeli practices. You have 30 to 40 times more crops from those trees, and the quality is higher, meaning you have excellent export opportunities. And again, the potential is enormous. Agriculture, cyber, ICT,
beyond what we can imagine.
Healthcare, defense, so many areas. We can collaborate so much when we are talking about building bridges of innovation and technology between Israel and the Philippines. This is what we are trying to do.
Okay. Mr. Ambassador, can we have your parting words to our Filipino audience?
Your message of hope.
Message of hope?
Yes, I would say, the role of an ambassador is to open the doors, is to build bridges between people, between nations, between countries. And I call upon you to be my partners in this endeavor. If it is on the technologies, if it is on the education, if it is on the travel, if it is in the agriculture, whatever it is, we are here in order to work together, to do good, and to bring peace, development, and prosperity for the Philippine people and for Israeli people alike. Because we are, end of the day, we're so much similar to each other. We get along so well together. So let's partner and really do it together. Thank you very much. And as you say, salamat,
Shalom.
Mabuhay, Shalom.
Maraming salamat po, Your Excellency. Very informative, very informative. Thank you very much.
And yes, we just want to really be thankful because we're blessed with a good ambassador, no less His Excellency Ambassador Ilan Flus. And of course, we will want to partner with you, so don't worry. We're just here. Our program, Sulong na Bayan, that's why it's called Sulong na Bayan, because we want this country to soar high. Not just the ambassador, not just Attorney Bibong, not just Loli Acosta, or Chairman, but the whole country. But with your partnership and our cooperation with you, I'm sure we'll soar high. And thank you, Ms. May Acosta, for having helped us this.
So bago kami magpaalam, gusto namin pasalamatan ng ating technical engineer, Filipinis, Fred Belamala, Gildion Reyes, kay Constantino, ang ating broadcast information technology, JV Dominguez, of course, ang ating mga writer, Laika Cuevas, at saka Jen Patrola, and our communication assistant, Eloisa Boninaw, and we have our intern, Aisen Luis Moses. Okay?
And Attorney Bibong, our next episode would be with Miss Ruby Banyares Victorino, our
Abangan niyo po kami
co-host.
sa
Abangan niyo
Super
po kayo.
Tuesday.
Right. And of course, we want to thank our Chairman D. Edgar
Again.
Cabangon for this platform. Wonderful, awesome,
Chairman
marvelous.
Edgar Cabangon is on the house.
Right.
My
Thank
good
you.
friend, if I may say, my good friend.
Okay. Your BFF. Do you know what that is? Best friend
Best friend
forever. Oh, wow. He knows that. So that brings to a close our maiden episode. As
Best of friends.
Right. As I always say, put God first in every area of our lives so He will direct our path. Shalom.
Okay, our next program, Butika ni Tita with Mrs. Maro Pahatin Sane.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882. Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best. Ang programang ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng Pagcor.
Ang bahaging ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng PCSO. Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong. This is the news and information station of Aliu Broadcasting Corporation. Nationwide, worldwide.